and you can actually see the concern there on Leonard's face and in his left hand as it's making so little power. He's trying to find a lower gear that maybe he'll be more happy in.
I think your concern in the swamp buggy, Steve, is getting stuck out there and having to sit in a cold water for a while they get something out to tow you in. Just passing through, too, Morris Garrell screams now for the sippy hole, and he's going to win this race going away as the Chessers suffer yet another humiliation.
And you know, it's not the temperature of the water, Paul, that concerns me. It's the critters that could be lurking in the depths.
And out here, it could be anything. As Chesser takes his machine back to the pits, no joy in Mudville for him. But back in the pits, Brock Yates may have finally seen the light.
Okay, Paige, I give up. There is a lot of agricultural stuff on these things. You're absolutely right. And Evans, yeah, I suppose you're right as far as the marine stuff is concerned. I can't find anything on this buggy that's got anything to do with aircraft, but I'll tell you what. I know what they are now. They're motorcycles.
Oh, no. Yates, you've finally done it. You've sunk to a new low.
On that, Paul, I give up.
Let's give it up entirely. Let's just forget it.
Here comes the most advanced of all the buggies, in my opinion, Roger McCandless in Rat-On. This is a semifinals in 8-cylinder, 2-wheel drive. Now, Terry Langford doesn't have to race in the semifinals. He automatically has gone to the finals. You know why, Paige?
No, I haven't the slightest idea, Stephen.
Because that's just the way it is.
Boy, I love events that are well-defined and you know exactly what to expect.
All right, Digger and Larry Andrews versus Rat-On Roger McCandless. The winner will go to the class final against Terry Langford. Yogi, as always, lines him up perfectly. And at the flash of green, it is Roger McCandless. He hesitated a moment, but he still has a good lead as they head for the sippy hole.
Well, McCandless got a little jump on the start there. He rocketed right through the sippy hole and continues to tear this course up. McCandless bouncing around. Looks like he's having a little bit of a steering problem. Look at him fight the steering wheel. At the same time, Andrews comes in behind him, falls in about 3 lengths back.
They are running that buggy, McCandless, with a flat left front tire. Let's remember that. They had no choice. There was nothing available.
Remember now, in this class, these are aluminum block, big block Chevrolets, over 500 cubic inches. The only thing they do not allow is supercharging or turbocharging. So this is a bunch of horsepower being exhibited out here, specifically by McCandless in his machine. Oh, look at that, a big jog, and he's got definite steering problems, guys.
Even with that marine hydraulic steering, you can see it's trying to tear his arms right off his shoulders.
And it's pitching him around in the cockpit as he tries to handle this machine. The crowd is loving it, though, as McCandless on the final stretch. A quick pitch through the sippy hole. Here it comes just ahead. He continues to fight the wheel, gets dangerously close to the wall, but McCandless takes the win. Andrews comes across right behind in second.
Excellent race. Andrews stayed in it all the way, but just couldn't hang on to this man, Roger McCandless, in a beautifully prepared buggy. As Steve said earlier, maybe the most sophisticated of the whole bunch. But right now, he's doing some just down and dirty dirt tracking, trying to maintain control of that machine as he hits this bump right here.
And watch how the sled takes a pitch and it throws him around in the cockpit. McCandless really had his hands full. Right now, he's with Steve Evans.
Roger, I don't ever recall anybody having to work as hard as you are today to get to the big feature, and you still got to get by Terry Langford to do that.
Yeah, well, I've got a flat tire on these skinny wheels we talked about earlier. It's giving me a hard time. I'm really having to get out of it. When I build up my speed where I should be at my best, I got to let off because it's pulling hard to the left. So, it's going to be a dangerous race with the tire like it is because I can't control it.
Without that hydraulic steering, it would be impossible.
Well, it would be impossible. You couldn't do it. I can feel the resistance not in the wheel, but in the response of the buggy with the flat tire. And now it's acting like a big plow because that tire is deflated and it's catching air.
Get a hole shot.
Get a hole shot and just hope for the best.
Thanks, Roger.
Well, Steve, if I wanted to, I could point out that he used the word plow.
You really don't want to, though, do you?
No. We're done with it. More action right after this.
Continues here in Naples, Florida at the Florida Sports Park. I'm Brock Yates along with Paul Page and Steve Evans. having a ton of fun here at the Swamp Buggy races as we get ready for, you got it, the 1 and 2 cylinder air-cooled class.
Well, there's Rick Ruby, stagecoach style on no reverse. Here's Suspicion of Ignorance. Terry Metzger, I think that is my favorite name of all. Very creative, much like the machine itself.
And Terry using a couple of rear ends, one on top of another, to get the power down to the rear wheels. There is Cause for Divorce. That's Douglas McCorvey, the bright red machine. Nice flat front end, really goes over the water very well.
He's got the engine all covered up, unlike Tough Enough with Martin Fox on board. He's gone for the lightweight version. I'm sure he's used a lot of silicone bathroom sealer and around that engine to keep the water out.
And here comes a straggler to join the fray. That is Bushwhacker Keith Kyler. This is a big class.
It is. We've got 5 buggies, more than we've ever seen in class races heretofore. Be interesting to see. This is a class final, so the winner of this one goes on to the little feature. Oh, wheel stand over there by Bushwhacker.
And Bushwhacker gets to the sippy hole way ahead of the rest of the field, but he bogs down a little bit there. Let's see if Bushwhacker can come out as Keith tries to fight it up. Getting it back now, making that turn to the left, but the whole field right behind them as they just chug along, trying to pick up some speed and clear those motors out.
And what is happening to Suspicion of Ignorance? Well, he has moved into the 3rd place, taking over that spot from Cause for Divorce.
Bushwhacker still out in front, but no reverse now, beginning to pull on a little bit of power of his own and getting a better line coming into the first set of turns. Bushwhacker still out in front, but look at no reverse.
Yeah, no reverse, taking that inside line, but remember, that's where all the rocks up there on the lee shore is, so it's a risky ride for him. And so far, though, it's Bushwhacker holding on to the lead, but now here comes no reverse, and he's taking it as they head down the front straightaway.
No reverse has got it right now, but Bushwhacker is just behind. We've got a good little race going here.
Oh, I'll say we do. These bizarre-looking creations putting on one heck of a show.
For the most part, these are twin-cylinder motorcycle engines, probably around 250, 300 cc's. Little tiny motors, but putting on a good bit of action here. Look at that. No reverse is stalled, and Bushwhacker jumps into the lead again.
You know, that's the weak link in these buggies, those motorcycle transmissions and all the linkage it takes to get to them. Here comes Suspicion of Ignorance. Why do I identify with that name so much?
Well, Steve, I think it's a lifestyle that you live. No reverse. Doesn't only not have reverse, he's got nothing at all. He's stalled just beyond the sippy hole, and Suspicion of Ignorance is now trying to play catch-up with the Bushwhacker, who's out in front.
The only race cars in the world that you kick-start.
Well, I'll tell you what, old Keith Kyler is going to kick it into victory lane here because Bushwhacker's moved out to a giant lead over Suspicion of Ignorance. One more pass through the sippy hole, and he's on his way to the little feature.
Oh, that could be a mile instead of a few yards trying to get out of that sippy hole, but he makes it through. Bushwhacker goes to the little beach.
Keith Kyler's got to be happy with that one. Look at Suspicion of Ignorance as he wallows down into the sippy hole. And is he going to make it out in time? Suspicion of Ignorance with a little lurch at the last moment finishes in 2nd place.
And here comes Cause for Divorce. Boy, it looks like, I don't know what it looks.
Well, it looks like he finished, for one thing, Steve. And one more buggy is going to make it across the line. That's Tough Enough. He will grind it out for a 4th spot. That's not going to get him much, but at least he will have the pride of navigating this course. Did I say navigate? Well, anyway, let's go to Paul Page with the winner.
You picked up some pretty good luck when no reverse had its problems, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. He runs strong. He's hard to beat out there. He's fast.
How about your run?
Well, I think I did pretty good. I missed one gear, but other than that, it was running pretty good. It started popping a little bit, but I got my ace mechanic over here. He's going to check her out.
Get the motor running right again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got to run one more run. I don't know if I can win it, but I'm going to give her heck anyway.
Good to you.
Thank you.
Well, the fun never ends here at the Swamp Buggy Classic. Coming up will be the little feature. And, of course, after that, what else? The big feature.
Well, over on the Gulf Coast, a few miles away from the Swamp Buggy Park, the surf's up, but believe me, the action isn't anywhere near as intense as we get ready for the little feature. And I'll tell you what, Evans, you've been around this sport for a long time. You got to be able to pick a winner out of this group.
Well, no offense, Keith, but I wouldn't pick Keith Kyler in the Bushwhacker. He's a two-cylinder machine. I wouldn't pick Steve Lawrence in a Little 2-2. That's a Jeep from earlier competition. I really wouldn't pick Ronald Newsom. 4 is enough. That's just 4-cylinder. I'd pick Ray Thornton in Cold Duck.
Well, that's because he's won just about every time we've been down here. But how about you, Paul? You pick one.
I tell you, I'm always for a Jeep. I love the Jeeps, and my Jeep is already going right into the... He's drowned out before he even got to the sippy hole. Thornton's way out in front. I'm changing my bet to Thornton.
All right. Well, right now it looks as if Ray is just driving away from everybody right there. Although right behind him is Ronald Newsom in 4's enough, and he's not giving up right now.
Well, another reason to bet on Ray Thornton is he just has tremendous reliability. That is such a durable old buggy, and he takes real good care of it, and he drives it real easy. Ray is just he's a natural in the little feature.
That's a real strong buggy, but look at this. 4's enough with Newsom on board is hanging right on, right in his wake there. Look at that. He's bent over, really trying hard, doing his best. Fans love it, too. That's the Thornton family there cheering their dad on.
And here they come to the sippy hole for the second time. And Cold Duck, if he has a kink in his armor, it's in that sippy hole. It's always slow going through there, but it always comes out the other side.
I'll tell you what, Steve, if you're going to suggest that Thornton is taking this one a little casually, I think you're wrong. He's driving this thing for every ounce it's worth as he screams onto the backstretch. Gives it a little pitch. Look at that wheel work that he's doing there. Boy, this guy's ready for Formula One.